Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I had a couple weeks off where I was traveling and recovering from traveling, so we are back, and today we're going to do a fairly basic flow, but just to kind of get your body moving. And I've been having some back pain, so a lot of my exercises today will be focused on things to relieve your back pain, but also to get a little workout. It's going to be a little bit more gentle, but I look forward to practicing with you guys. So we are actually going to start in child pose. Actually, let's go ahead and I changed my mind. We're gonna start on our backs. So go ahead and come down to your back with your feet, either soles of your feet on the floor, or you can extend them out long, whichever feels most comfortable to you. Because, like I said, I've been having some back pain lately. For me, having my feet supported helps kind of support my pelvis and the lower back. Wherever you land, allow your palms to open towards the sky, shoulder blades sink into the floor, and just start to arrive on your mat. Start to lengthen your inhales and your exhales. Note how the back of your chest presses into the earth as you inhale. And then just starting, since we're warming up, start to draw your belly button back towards your spine on your exhales, using that transverse abdominis. Try not to flatten your back to the mat. Just try to use that transverse abdominis without changing that curve of your spine. And now we are going to start to kind of change that curve of our spine. So if your legs are out long, bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Take an inhale. And as you exhale and draw your belly button towards your spine, flatten your spine down towards the floor. This is a pelvic tilt. It's very often used in physical therapy. And as you inhale, rock back forward. Almost over-exaggerate that arch of your spine. And exhale, pull your belly button to spine. Flatten your spine down to the mat. Keep going on your own breath. Come to a neutral spine again, where you're not fully extending and you're not fully flexed. And just gently let your knees drop off to the right and then to the left. Taking it nice and easy, just starting to take in some little dynamic twists. Try and ground down through your shoulder blades, so the only thing that's really lifting is your opposite hip. This should not feel painful. If it does, make sure you stop. And then come to stillness. Take your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Maybe rock gently side to side. And then crossing your ankles, grabbing behind your thighs. We're going to start rocking and rolling. So we rock back, and we come to sitting. We rock back, and we come to sitting. And we keep going. And we keep going until you cross your feet and come all the way up to tabletop. Planting your hands underneath your shoulders, spread your fingertips wide, knees under hips. We move through our cat and our cow. Start to inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze, widen collarbones. And then exhale, push the floor away, pull belly button towards your spine. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Next inhale, come to a neutral spine. Send your right leg out long, left arm up towards your ear, and then lift your right toes up off the floor. Square your hips to the floor, so keep your shoulders square. Pull that low belly into your spine. Energy through your right heel, energy through your right toes, energy through your left fingertips. Take an inhale, see if you can't lengthen a little bit further away from each other. Then exhale, round your spine, bring your knee to your elbow. Inhale, reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach one more time, as long as you can get. Then exhale your left hand down and right hand to meet it. Changing to the opposite side, send your left toes back. Right arm reaches right up by your ear. Then lift the left foot up off the floor. Holding here for a moment. Pull your belly button to your spine. Square as much off as you can. Sending energy through your left heel, energy through your right fingertips. Making as long of a distance as you can between those 2 points. Take an inhale, extend a little further. Then exhale, pull your knee to your elbow. Round your spine. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, extend. Reach, reach, reach. Then exhale, right hand down, left knee down. Tuck your toes, send your hips high, downward facing dog. Pedal out your dog, pressing one heel and then the other down to the floor. And just keep switching through as it feels good and necessary to you. Option to take any other movements that you might need. And then when you're ready, find stillness in your down dog. Option to keep your knees slightly bent here as to make the longer line, the straighter line from the base of your wrists to the tip of your tailbone. Check in with your neck. Can you nod your head yes and shake it no? Inhale, rise up on your tippy toes. Look to your palms and then take a little walk, bringing your feet up to the top of your mat. Feet are hips width distance apart. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine, reach your tailbone back, crown of head forward, squeeze your shoulder blades. And then exhale, bend your knees, fold forward, bring your chest to your thighs and hang in ragdoll pose. Energetically spin the outer edges of your heels away from each other, maybe even actually spinning them to allow for some opening in your SI joint, really releasing that lower back. And then release your hands. Slowly roll yourself all the way up to standing. Head comes up last. Shoulders roll up and down your back for extended mountain pose. Palms face forward. Pull your low ribs in. Grounding down through all four corners of both feet. Weight even on both feet. Back of neck is long. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, left hand grabs your right wrist as you side bend over to the left, opening up that right side body, right QL. Can you ground down a little bit more in your right foot? And inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, right hand grabs your left wrist as you bend over to the right. Grounding down through that left foot. Opening up that left side body. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands come down. Take your hands behind your back. Press your palms, clasp your fingers. Roll your shoulders up and back as you pull your knuckles down towards the floor. Open your chest. Maybe you even gaze up at the sky a little bit. Take a little tuck of your pelvis in order to tuck those lower ribs down and in underneath so they're not flaring out. We're opening our upper back here. And then release. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Palms come to touch. And then exhale, take a swan dive, flat back, hinge at your waist, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes, keep your hands right beneath your shoulders, pressing through the tops of your feet. Inhale, baby cobra, just to that bottom rib. Exhale, down. 2 more just like that. Inhale, baby cobra. And exhale, down. 1 more time, baby cobra, inhale. Exhale, press back to your knees, tug your toes. Downward facing dog, hips lift. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. Keeping hips square here. So all 5 toes down, pointing down to the floor. Right outer hip is rolling down towards the floor. Take an inhale, maybe your right leg lifts a little higher. Then exhale, shift forward to plank. Step your right foot between your palms. Lower left knee down, come up for a low lunge. Arms from your ears. Pull your right hip back in space, left hip comes forward. Take an inhale, maybe a little baby back bend. Exhale, hands frame your right foot. Step your left foot up to meet your right. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Root to rise, come up to stand, inhale. Exhale, hands swan dive out to the side as you hinge forward to forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Take your right foot back. Lower your right knee and come up, low lunge, left foot forward. Dropping down that left knee, that left hip, pulling that right hip forward, plugging your left femur into the hip socket, grounding down through that left foot. One more inhale, draw your wrist back, little back bend. Exhale, hands frame your left foot, step back to plank. Lower chaturanga, nice and slow. Exhale, upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Inhale your left leg up to the sky. All 5 toes pointing straight down. Roll that left outer hip down towards the floor. Take an inhale, draw your left leg up a little higher. Exhale, shift forward, step your left hand between your hands. Left foot between your hands, come up, low lunge, inhale. Take an exhale. Inhale, draw your wrist back, baby back bend. Exhale, hands frame your left. Step up to meet your right. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Root to rise, stand all the way up, palms reach. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Inhale, sweep your arms. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your palms, step your left foot back. Lower the knee, low lunge, inhale. Exhale here. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, hands frame your foot. Step back to plank. Chaturanga. Exhale, slow as it goes. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Inhale, rise on your tippy toes, look to your palms. Exhale, step or float to the front of your mat. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Root to rise, come all the way up to standing, palms reach overhead. Exhale, hands down in front of your heart. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step, hands down, step, or float back and move through your vinyasa, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Inhale, rise up to your tippy toes. Exhale, step or float to the front of your mat. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Root to rise, come all the way up to standing, palms reach overhead. Exhale, hands down in front of your heart. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale, plant your palms, step back. Moving through your vinyasa, lower chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, exhale. Inhale, rise up to your tippy toes, look to your palms. Exhale, step or float to the front of your mat. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Root to rise, come all the way up to standing, palms reach overhead. Exhale, swan dive, right back down, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step or float back and move through your vinyasa. Inhale, rise to your tippy toes. Exhale, step or float to the front of your mat. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Root to rise, come all the way up to standing, palms reach overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your palms and float or step back and move through your vinyasa. We will stay in downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot between your palms. Keep your left knee lifted and come up. Crescent lunge, arms reach overhead. Keep your right knee stacked right over your right ankle. Left hips pulling forward, right hips pulling back in space. Arms are strong, low belly is pulling up and in. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Exhale, find that crescent lunge. Maybe you sink a little bit deeper. Send your left heel back a little further. And then we're gonna open it up, warrior 2. Heel to arch alignment here. Right foot is pulling back towards the arch of your left foot. Right knee is still stacked right over your left ankle. Your hips are gonna be facing that left diagonal. You're grounding through the outer border of your left foot. Your arms are reaching long. Shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Exhale, shift your hips back as you reach towards that right foot and find triangle pose. Right hand can come to a block your shin or the inside of your right foot. Reach your left arm straight up towards the sky, stacking left shoulder over right. Gaze at your thumb. Sweep your left arm up and over your ear. Turn to face your right foot. Pop your left foot up and in. Just a little bit for a little wider pyramid than you normally might do. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold over your right leg. Become acutely aware of the left heel pressing down towards the floor. Crown of head reaching towards the ankle. Soften your right knee. Step your left foot up to meet your right at the front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up to standing, palms reach overhead. Exhale, hands down in front of your heart. Inhale, sweep your arms. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale, step both feet back to plank. Lower chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Inhale your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, step your left foot between your palms. Crescent lunge, inhale, arms reach. Squaring those hips off. High on your right tippy toes. Square your hips off before you try and straighten that right leg. Stacking left knee over left ankle, pulling that left hip back in space, pulling your right hip back in space, pulling that low belly in, and then maybe you reach that left heel, right heel back a little bit further. Take an inhale, straighten your left knee, reach up tall, then exhale, rebend the left knee, spin your right heel down, and come to warrior two. Aligning heel to arch, reaching hands wide away from each other. Stacking left knee over left ankle. Straighten your left knee, inhale. Exhale as you shift your hips back. Reach that left arm forward. Coming to your shin, a block, or the floor. Find your triangle pose. Oh, I'm so tight in my left side for some reason. Reach your right arm up towards the sky. Try and stack right arm over left. Maybe we gaze at the right thumb. Sweep your right arm up and over your right ear. Turn to face your left foot. Pop your right foot up and in for a pyramid pose. The toes are both facing forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold it forward. Become acutely aware of that right heel pressing down. Lengthening your spine, crown of head reaching towards your ankle. Soften your left knee a little bit as you step your right foot to meet your left. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen. Forward fold, exhale. Root to rise, come all the way up to standing, palms reach overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to plank, and move through a vinyasa. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot between your palms. Spinning your left heel down, come up, warrior two. Straighten your right knee. Turn both toes to face the left side of your mat. Maybe your heels are a little wider. Take your hands to your hips. Lift up through your spine, lengthen, and then slowly bow forward for a wide leg forward fold. Allow your hands to just gently rest. Allow your head to sink closer and closer to the floor. Bring your hands underneath where your face would be and inhale to a flat back. Plant your left hand on the mat directly under your face and then twist open to the right. Reach that right arm up. Notice if you lifted your right hip. See if you can't press that right hip down to the floor so your hips stay level, but your upper back is twisting. And then exhale, right hand down, switch sides. Inhale, lift your left arm up. Notice if one side feels a little different than the other, maybe a little sticky. And then take that left hand down. Bend both knees as you roll yourself up to standing. Turn both toes to face the front. Pop your left foot back a little bit as you bend your right knee and come to a crescent lunge. Bow your chest forward 45 degrees, and then we're popping up onto that right leg. Standing leg raise, left knee into your chest, grow nice and tall. Hands to your heart or stay overhead. Send that left leg back, warrior three. We're looking for the most parallel warrior three you can. Crown of head reaching forward. All 5 toes pointing down towards the floor. Shoulder blades squeezing back. Release your hands down to the floor, find standing split. Allow that left heel to reach up towards the sky. Take one more inhale here. Then exhale, take your left knee outside your right foot and come to a seated position. Ground down through both sitting bones. Sit nice and tall. Clasp your hands around your right shin. Lift your head, your chest. Press your shin into your hands and your hands into your shin. Untuck your tail. Keep growing taller in your spine. And then releasing that right leg, allow that right leg to spin to the back. We're setting up for pigeon. It's a little bit of a different way to go into pigeon, but set yourself up. So take that left shin as parallel to the front of your mat as you can. Peek back into your right knee, right foot, and make sure it's coming straight back. Stay high in your pigeon, up on your fingertips if you can. Keep pulling your right hip forward and left hip back. Lift high. Two more breaths here. Big stretch to that right hip flexor. So good. And then slowly walk yourself all the way down. Maybe blocks are helpful here, either under your left hip or under your forehead. Slowly walk your hands back towards your left shin, lift your chest. Shimmy that left heel in just a little bit. Tuck your right toes and step back to downward facing dog. And we do the other side. Inhale your left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step your left foot between your palms. Spin your right heel down and come up. Warrior two. Straighten your left knee, turn both toes to face the right side of your mat. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Option to take the back bend, not the back bend, but a posterior clasp, opposite elbows, something to keep your chest open, or just bend forward, but take a bow. Hinge at your waist first. Keep your hips stacked over your heels. Any variation that you decide to take, make it yours. Whichever variation you've chosen, take both hands down to the floor. Walk your hands over to your right foot. Take your left hand to the outside of your right ankle and twist, bringing your chest as close to your right thigh as you can. Maybe take a half bind with that right hand. And then slowly coming through center, release that side. Walk your hands to the left. Right hand takes a hold of your left ankle. Pull your chest towards your thigh. Take that twist. Keep your right elbow bent. Maybe that left hand finds your right hip crease as you spin your chest open. And then releasing that, come through center. What do we do here? Turn toward to face your left foot. Turn both toes forward, come up onto your right toes, and lift up for crescent lunge. Bow your chest forward as you spring up for standing leg raise. Lift your right knee up and into your chest. Grow tall, tall, tall. Keeping hands here or coming through heart center. Send your right leg back for warrior three. Take your time to get there. There is no rush. And then release your hands down to the mat. Letting it go on the top for standing split. Reach your right leg up towards the sky. One more breath in. Then exhale, right knee comes to the outside of your left foot. Sit both sitting bones down. Take a clasp around your left shin. Untuck your tail, lift your chest. Press your shin into your hands and your hands into your shin. Growing taller and taller in your spine as you go. And then setting up for pigeon with the right leg forward. Swing that left leg back. Make your right shin as parallel as possible to the front of your mat. Flex your foot. Peek back. Make sure your left foot is coming straight out of your hip. Stay up on fingertips. Keep pulling your right hip back. Pull that left hip forward. Oh, it feels so good. And then when you're ready, slowly start to take yourself forward. Uses of blocks are very welcome under your right hip, forearms, or forehead. Slowly walk yourself back up, lifting your chest, tucking that right heel in just a little bit, tuck your left toes, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Lower all the way down to the floor. Untuck your toes, reach your hands back towards your hips. Pinkies are gonna be up. Take an inhale, lift your chest, lift the tops of your feet. Pinkies are reaching towards your feet for locust pose. Can you squeeze your feet in a little bit closer? Can you lift your chest a little higher? One more breath. Then exhale, come down, set your right cheek on the floor, bend your knees, and windshield wiper your feet side to side. Coming back to center, lower your feet down. Bring your gaze to the mat. We go again. When you're ready, take an inhale, lift your chest, lift the tops of your feet. Reach your fingertips towards your feet. One more breath. And then exhale, lower down. Take your left cheek to the floor. Bend your knees and windshield wiper side to side. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes, firm your belly, and all at once, lift yourself up back to a plank, and then to downward facing dog. Walk your hands back halfway on your mat. Inhale, come up on your tippy toes, look to the front of your mat. And then exhale, step, float, walk, however you might need to a seated position with legs extended in front of you, heels just off your mat. Grounding down through your sitting bones. Inhale, arms reach overhead, feet are flexed. Exhale, hinge at your waist. Reach as far as you can. Once you land, inhale, halfway lift. Well, just lift, lengthen, and then exhale, forward fold. Roll yourself back up to seated. Take an inhale, reach your arms wide, and then exhale, pressing your heels down, pull your belly button to your spine. Start to roll yourself back to the mat as slow as you can, all the way down to the mat. And once you land, bend your knees, take your heels in close to your hips, line your heels up with your sitting bones and up with your middle toe. Hands down on the floor by your side. Take an inhale, lift your hips, press through your heels and your big toe. Maybe your hands find each other underneath you and you shimmy your shoulder blades underneath. Release your hands if you have them, and then slowly lower yourself down to the mat. Heel toe your feet wide on the mat, and then windshield wiper your knees side to side. Bring your feet back in towards each other. Option to take another bridge, option to take full wheel, or option to set a block underneath your hips. I would go grab mine, but it's still across the room and I don't feel like it. So whenever you're ready, Take whichever variation you pick. On your inhale, lift up. If you're taking full wheel, make sure that you're continuing to press your shoulders towards your wrists. You're continuing to engage your abdominals, actually in bridge pose too, and squeeze your knees in towards each other, actually for all these. And then when you're ready, slowly come on out. Take your knees into your chest, give yourself a hug, and then rock gently side to side. Coming to stillness, keep a hold of your right knee as you send your left leg out long. Give your knee a little hug. And then take your right knee in your left hand, pull your right knee over to the left, reach your right arm out like a wing, gaze over to your right thumb. Come back to center. Pulling that right knee up into your chest, take the left knee up to meet it, and send your right leg out long. Giving that left knee a nice little extra hug. And then right hand takes it over to the right as you reach your left arm out to the side and twist. And then come back into center. Bring both knees up to your chest. And then set your feet down. Bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees splay out to the side for Supta Baddha Konasana. Allow your knees to just relax out. Allow your hands to completely relax. If this is not comfortable for you and you prefer a traditional Shavasana, extend your legs. If you need some other supports like a blanket, a bolster, set those where you need them. And allow yourself to soften. Take a little moment to scan your body. Notice if you're holding anywhere. Send your breath to those little areas where you might be holding and exhale, release. If you're still in Baddha Konasana, take your hands to the outer sides of your hips and gently press your knees back and in together. And then heel toe your feet wide. Let your knees stay together. You get a little bit of a counter stretch. And then from here, heel toe your feet in towards the center. Pull your knees into your chest one last time. Maybe if you need a little bit more of a stretch, lift your forehead up and touch your knees. And when you're ready, release out of that and roll onto your right side. Staying on your right side for just a moment, taking a moment of gratitude. First, offering gratitude to yourself for showing up, for taking this time on your mat. And then offering gratitude to anyone else who might need it. And when you're ready, press yourself back to the seated position. Finding a comfortable seat, cross your ankles gently. Sit nice and tall in your spine. Allow your hands to rest on your thighs. Palms down in a gesture of grounding. Or flip your palms up towards the sky in a gesture of receiving energy. Know that in practicing yoga, it doesn't always have to be a vigorous, sweaty practice, though a lot of mine are. But you can always slow down and take slower, longer holds in order to still move your body and still get the amazing benefits that this practice provides. Gather your hands in front of your heart. The light in me sees and honors the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.